everybody, welcome to GeekStorm. I'm Sean Hilton, and today I'm joined by my good friend Lauren Gray.
Hello.
We've got lots of fun things to talk about today. We're very excited to jump right into it. So, what has been going on in the world? I saw that we had the passing of a famous British actress. Did you follow any of Diana Rigg's work?
I did, yes. I loved her in Game of Thrones.
Well, who was she
the
in Game
Avengers.
of Thrones? I didn't see that.
She was Olenna Tyrell. She had a lot of good one-liners.
Okay.
There's a lot of just little snippets you could probably look up of her.
Okay.
There's a scene where she tells some younger women, shut up, the grown women are talking. She was very that. Spoiler alert, her final scene was basically her just saying, I want that woman to know it was me that did all that stuff. You make sure, if I'm gonna go out, you make sure that it was me. You let her know that it was me.
Know.
Yeah,
Awesome.
She was amazing.
All right. Well, it was funny because when I saw the picture, I'm like, I don't know who that is. And then it's like the Avengers. And I'm like, well, obviously not the Avengers that we've watched recently.
Yes,
so I'm like, it's got to be like the UK BBC Avengers.
That had a terrible remake in the 90s.
Yeah, it was so bad. So I saw that, and I was like, oh, it's, So, yeah, I was like, oh, well, she's
I think she was also a Bond girl.
She might have been. It wouldn't surprise me at all. So she passed away at, I think, 88 or something like that. So that's not a bad track record. Hit TV show in the late 60s, early 70s, and then followed up with some Game of Thrones action. So she had a lasting effect on several different generations of movie goers / television watchers. So cool. So what have you been watching? I know you're a big YouTube fan. Is there anything going on out there that the world needs to know about?
No, I've kind of gotten into some streaming lately, like live streams.
Okay.
So
what are you watching? Is it being played?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Because now, when I heard about Twitch and streaming, it was all video games, but now it's starting to branch out into some weird stuff.
They're doing. There's Twitch streams now of DJs. You could just turn on a Twitch stream and watch someone just do a set for 2 hours and give them some money if they're good. But no, I've been watching. There's a new game. It's not really new, but it's called Among Us.
Okay.
So it's funny to watch complete strangers get into this game and play a social deduction game because you don't know the person at all. So you can't really judge, if you and I are playing, we could kind of be like, oh, you're lying because I know you.
Yeah, I know you well. It's Pat. It's always Pat.
Yeah.
Even if it's not, it's Pat or it's Joel, because I just don't want to deal with those two.
Yeah.
In a further game anyway. So always, if it's me, I'm always going after one. I'm always going to say it's not me. That's my go-to. Every social deduction game begins with "it's not me," or "it is me." Either one. It's a 50-50 because you don't know, and I'm just like, "It's me. It's not me," and then you got to figure it out. But I'm always going to try to get rid of these. I think everybody probably has those friends.
Oh yeah.
And they're not bad guys. They just happen to be excellent gamers, and I'm like, nope. Those are the two I have to usually target, and that's almost any game. Joel, at this point. I don't play games with Joel to win the game.
Yeah.
I play games with Joel to screw over Joel. And,
poor Joel.
No, it's not poor Joel.
I like playing games.
You didn't sit through the second Lords of Waterdeep thing where he had a strategy. Joel was on this side of me, and I was right here.
Yeah.
And his strategy was he was going to go first every time. So he had the thing set up so that you could buy the go first thing.
Yeah.
So really what happened was he bought the I go first thing, which meant the person on his other side always went first.
Yeah.
Because he was always going to buy the I go first thing.
Yes.
Which meant I always went last. Every round for an entire game. That was a strategy. So to this day, I'm like, nope.
You were stuck buying the two clerics each round.
Yeah, just I'm like, your strategy really is just Sean has no fun because it never changes. And the thing is he's so bright, but I'm like, and you're not getting the fact that your first turn that you're always getting is always doing nothing but buying the first turn. So you didn't actually you just wasted resources to get that. Now it was Bobby, his husband on the other side, so maybe, I don't know. Maybe he was trying to throw him a bone to help out, but I was just like, nope, this is horrible. So this day, and it's funny because it's a great game. All my friends love Lords of Waterdeep, but that has left a bad taste in my mouth. I'm just like, I don't. People say it, I'm like, well, I'm going to play it, but I'm going to be better the entire time. So, yeah, that's a great game. So Among Us is a social deduction game.
Yes.
And it's app-based, correct?
Yes, you could play it on a tablet or a phone as well as the computer. It's $5 on Steam. I believe it's free in the App Store. But you use Discord or some other type of chat service, and you are little guys in a space station.
Okay.
And the person who starts the game sets the parameters. Bless you. There can be 1 or 2 imposters, and then the rest are crew members, and you have tasks that you have to complete in this space station. You can only see certain points of the game because the lights only shine a certain way because you're trying to get the space station built back up. And all the while, the imposters are trying to sabotage you and kill you.
Well, they're just rude.
So they are rude. So while you're doing this, you'll get shanked, and then you go into the meeting room to discuss who the imposter was. So whenever someone finds a dead body, they report the dead body.
Okay.
And then you
Now,
see
once you're
who
dead,
died.
do you have any interaction in the game, or are you
Yeah,
out?
you become a ghost,
Okay.
and you can still do tasks to try to win the game, but you aren't like the actual winner because you're a ghost.
Gotcha.
So you're not allowed if you're a ghost or if you're a dead body, you can't talk because then you could just be like, oh hey, this person killed me.
Killed me.
But
whacked me, man.
yeah, in the chat room, everybody has to be like, well, I saw this person go into that room right after that, and then all of a sudden there's a dead body, so it has to be them. But there's vents that you can like shortcut to, kind of like Clue style, and pop up in different areas. So and it's a ton of fun watching these streamers like stream because nobody knows each other. So
how long does it take for an average game to be played out of Among Us?
like 5 minutes.
Seems
of
like
that.
it's pretty short.
Oh yeah, it's just the imposters just have to get down to the same amount of people as them.
Okay.
So if they kill everybody, if there's only 1 or if there's 2, they have to get down to 2 people.
Okay.
2 extras.
That's kind of interesting.
And then they win. And you vote on who you think the imposter is. And so after you do that, you get flung into a pit of lava.
Oh.
And
lava.
Yeah, and then
That's
it'll tell you like the username was an imposter or was not an imposter, so you possibly kill your own teammate. Yeah, so it's a ton of fun. It looks like fun. I ended up buying it after watching a couple streams.
Okay, well I think isn't Nick been playing it?
Yeah, Nick and Pat and his
yeah.
brother and yeah.
Okay, well very cool. I mean, I haven't played a lot. I borrowed a game from your husband, a fairly new game called Chronicles of Crime that I keep meaning to play with Chris. I think tonight we're finally going to get to play it.
Fun.
It is a board game, Chronicles of Crime, that is very app-based. In fact, I don't think you can play it without an app. I think it's impossible. Each card has like a QR code on it. So the way it sets up is there's an initial little thing for each scenario. And this one's modern day, and you're with Scotland Yard, and there's a murder or whatever.
Yeah.
You go out to the scene, and then there's a picture, and you're using your phone or your device to look around in a virtual reality to see like the inside of, the toy.
Oh, okay, fun. Yeah. So kind of augmented reality.
Yeah, you're seeing the clues, and then when you see a clue, you can go in and go, oh, like in the very first one, very short, only like 2 spaces to go. You go in, and there's a dead elderly woman, and she's an old cat lady, and all the cats are dead too.
Oh.
And so, you pick up animals. There's there's a deck of cards that you have to go through and sort through.
Yeah.
So it's like animals because all the cats are dead. So you scan that, and then there was a cake, and so a food.
Was the cake eaten?
It was, and so you scan it, and then there's forensic experts that work for for them that come in, so you can have the cake analyzed, and you find out that there's something wrong with that, and then from there you get clues, and so you're scanning, you're looking, you're doing real world kind of viewing and looking around and interacting with physical objects and things of that nature. Had a blast playing it with your husband and Joel. But it was a co-op game, so we weren't working against each other.
There we go.
Otherwise, I know that he murdered that little old lady by poisoning that cake. And all the cats. Because Joel did that. But he did it because we were on the same team.
Yeah.
So,
Well, that's good.
So yeah, we played a lot of that. I think that's something my wife would really dig. So we're going to give it a shot. And now I've already seen that there's a new one coming out. Chronicles of Crime 1400. Ooh. It looks like the Dark Ages.
Nice.
So I'm not sure. You kind of got like this Viking-looking kind of dude on the front. So the whole thing with it is that you're investigating stuff. So I'm not sure how they're going to do investigations in the Dark Ages, but it should be interesting. The thing that we would see that we haven't seen yet that we thought we would see very quickly, and maybe it still happen, is again, you have all the game pieces, all the QR codes. There should be one of those engineering app things so you can create your own stuff. So that needs to happen. It needs to happen pretty quickly. Otherwise, I would imagine you'll have limited use for it. Plus, it also any game that's app based always makes me worry, how long is the app going to be active?
Supported.
As soon as it's not supported, then you have paperweights if it's all app-based. And this is 100% app-based. So I think it's well worth playing. It's a lot of fun. If you're a crime fan, it's good. You can play it solo if you wanted to. You can play it with friends as a co-op. Your husband is exceptionally smart. He live streamed or live cast his phone, which is what we're using for the device, up to the 50-inch television that we use in the game room.
Yeah.
So as he was doing it and looking about with the virtual reality, the rest of the co-players aren't having to look over his shoulders and trying to see or take turns. We're all seeing what he is seeing live. So we're all making our notes and like, oh, okay. So that was a lot of fun and made it so much more enjoyable. Highly recommend Chronicles of Crime. Check it out. And you're playing or watching Among Us.
I'm watching that, yeah. But I'm also playing the Avengers, so.
Tell us about the Avengers. Brand new video game.
Yes.
Cross-platform, I believe.
Yes.
Is it computer-based as well, or is it just PS4 and Xbox?
I'm only aware of the PS4 and the Xbox. I don't know if it's computer-based. It would make sense that it would be, I would guess. But I am having a blast playing it.
Didn't it get some heat?
It did.
What was the heat about? I honestly don't know. I just know that there was some talk about it, but it hasn't been on my radar.
So a lot of people don't like that it's not like Chris Evans and Scarlett Johansson and everybody, but the
voices or the picture?
The voices.
Oh,
well, and it was motion captured, so it's not really like.
Okay, I'm like, they don't know the voices of most of these characters anyway when it comes to that.
Oh no, in the voice actors.
Thor's been done by the one guy forever.
Yeah. I would say the voice actors are fantastic in it. Like every single, Jennifer Hale is in it. She's Marie Hill. Ashley Birch, Laura Bailey, Travis Willingham is Thor. He's been Thor forever.
Travis. He's fun.
And he got to motion capture Thor 2 this time. He was super excited about it.
That's pretty cool.
But yeah, it's a game where I'm guessing. So if you're familiar with only the Marvel Cinematic Universe and you don't know anything else about the comics. I could see how it could be confusing because this game just assumes that you are a nerd and that you understand this.
And that you know comics?
Yes, because you see, spoiler alert, like in the very beginning, you as Black Widow fight Taskmaster. Yeah. And they expect you to know who Taskmaster is, who Kamala Khan is, who MODOK is, who like.
What's MODOK stand for? I'm gonna pull.
Mobile operator, something killing.
I don't know.
Yeah, there you go. Designed for killing.
That's so cheesy. It's a great Halloween costume. MODOK is just a giant floating head with little arms and stuff in a chair. So you go out and you buy a baby doll, and you just like attach the baby doll head and their feet and hands to your face, and you've got MODOK.
Yeah. So it's the only complaint I have with it is each character has its own special, unique button combination to do their attacks. And when I'm in the heat of the battle, sometimes I just want to mash buttons, and Hulk will do things that I'm like, oh, I didn't want you to do that. I wanted you to just Hulk smash and not jump over there. But that's been the only complaint I've had, and even that is just a minor complaint. The game likes to throw some shade at you.
Really?
If you cannot complete a section or die a certain amount of times, it's like, hey. Go to the options and change the difficulty settings.
You suck.
I'm like, shut up, game.
That is great.
But you get to play.
You get to choose characters, or is it a set characters for each mission?
It's set characters for each mission. At the beginning, you get to. It starts off with you are on the helicarrier, and it's like Avengers Day, and you get to meet all the Avengers, and Kamala Khan's like super nerding out. And she's like, oh, I get. And your very first mission is collect 5 comics. So like you go.
Are you playing Kamala Khan?
You go around, yeah, right, at the very beginning.
All right, very cool.
And bad stuff happens.
To collecting comics.
And
I don't like
yes,
that. That's not good. Collecting comics should have good things happen.
Well, after you collect the comics is when the bad things happen.
Okay.
And then you get to switch and you play each Avenger once to learn their button combos.
Okay.
And
so it's like 5 tutorials basically.
Essentially, yeah. But you kind of need it because each character has a different thing. Like Cap has special shield abilities, and Bruce Banner does different Hulk ragey things.
It's awesome.
I liked playing Thor the best at the beginning because you just, whip that hammer around, just kill everybody. Tony Stark was my least favorite because I have terrible hand-eye coordination and flying while shooting a little pulse laser and trying to aim didn't work out so well for me.
It's not auto aiming or anything.
No, you had to use that left joystick, and it was
Lauren,
it was
go
bad.
back to the options.
Yeah, it was not good. But then very bad things happen, and then it cuts to like a few years later, and yeah.
Oh, there's aftermath.
Yes, aftermath,
it.
and it's a ton of fun. Cool. And like there's, in the aftermath, it's very like kind of post-apocalyptic feeling because there's like aim bots everywhere, and you gotta
That's advanced
get
idea
rid of them.
mechanics.
It is advanced idea mechanics.
I'm surprised your son's not a huge fan.
Oh, I know. He's watched me play a little bit, and he really wants to play.
Get him a beehive costume for Christmas or for Halloween. He can go around being an AIM agent. It'd be great.
But yeah, so when you start this second section, you're Kamala again.
Okay.
And they don't explain, her things. You just start doing the whole stretchy thing, and so yeah, that's why I think a lot of people maybe they're just fans of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and they're like, what's going on? I don't understand, but
get into it, people. Come on.
But it's a blast. If you just want to play a game where you can just kind of get immersed in that world and beat up a bunch of different villains and robots.
What has your game time been so far? Like, how much time have you got into
I haven't played very long, like maybe 5 hours.
Okay.
Because I've had to work a lot this week.
Have we heard what kind of in-game time there is yet?
No. I know some people have beaten it. There's been some streamers that have the entire, but that is probably because if you pre-ordered the deluxe edition, you got it several days earlier than the release date. You could even go to the store and pick it up, like several days before the release, the street date. So it's been out longer than a lot of people have been playing it for those who really like Marvel and wanted the deluxe edition. And
or if you were streaming it, we're going to get paid.
Oh yeah, that too.
I don't
too.
think it had any kind of restrictions like Persona 5 did or anything like that.
Yeah, but it's interesting as you can level up, kind of like an RPG. So you can collect things along the way and level up your gear. And I'm currently right now playing as Hulk, and
what's Hulk? I've got more purple
nanites.
pants. Nanites?
Yeah,
All
so
right.
I got some nanites on my arms, and I got some nanites on my legs.
He's like Hulk skipped leg day. I'm like,
no,
what?
mainly his rage meter. He has a rage meter where he could just go cray cray, and when that goes to a certain level, then he's just normal Hulk instead of like
very cool.
super steroid Hulk.
Check that out. Right now I'm playing Pathfinder Kingmaker still.
Oh yeah.
Well, that's the great thing about this game is I know all my friends are going to play it. So if I wait long enough, I'm going to end up just being able to borrow it. So I'm still in the middle of Pathfinder Kingmaker, which is tabletop RPG ported over to a computer and has the vast majority of Pathfinder rules built into it. It's been a lot of fun so far. And challenging, I think. So, yeah, it's like,
Now, have you played Pillars of Eternity? Okay.
What is Pillars of Eternity?
It's another game that's similar. It's very D&D-esque, but you're an adventuring party. You level up. You choose to be a bard or a cleric or anything like that. I was just wondering if it was similar to Pillars of Eternity or not.
I'm playing a halfling knife master.
Oh, shocking!
named Tegan. Tegan Underfoot.
Aw.
He's related.
I was going to say, I have a character sheet of an Underfoot at my house.
All my halflings are always Underfoot because Daddy was a traveler. So, yeah. So, well, very cool. It sounds like a lot of fun. I would love to check that out. Is Kamala Khan, Miss Marvel, is her like faceplate or something like a name plate, like a generic nameplate or something that's used for putting in your name or something? Like when your name pops up or something like that?
No, you are just literally her.
Really?
It starts off with she's just like, she won a fan fiction contest. And that's why she got to go to the helicarrier. And to get the VIP seats, she had to collect the 5 comics.
Okay.
And that's how you kind of like learn
a local
the
artist
basics.
supposedly did the art for something that's being used. It's like a static piece that's used in the game for something. Like, I don't know.
Oh, well, there's
tons
tons
it
of...
was a name thing, like when you signed in or something, maybe. I don't know, but... I'm not sure.
It might be for the multiplayer. I haven't played any of the multiplayer yet, so.
Yeah, he posted something on Facebook and I saw that.
Oh, fun.
So, well, very cool. Well, I've been watching some television.
Yes.
Have you caught any of Lovecraft Country yet?
Yes.
How far?
Well, I'm only 2 episodes in.
All right. Well, you watched the 2.
Yeah.
So that one I love Lovecraft Country. If you haven't seen it yet, I highly recommend it. I've finally caught up to all 4 episodes. 4 episodes, sir. All right, so I am caught up. The first 2 episodes is a classic Call of Cthulhu style adventure. You basically get a letter. There's something going on over here. You travel there. Stuff happens. Madness, insanity, monsters, and a little bit of magic. Then you try to use the magic, screws you up. Felt very much to me like Cthulhu cinematic adventure. The second one is a haunted house story meets a Call of Cthulhu adventure. And the fourth one is the Goonies meets a Call of Cthulhu adventure.
Oh, love it.
So, loving it so far. Everything about it's really got me excited. The acting, I feel, for the most part, is really top notch. The effects are pretty good. Overall, there is a little bit of some things. You know, this is one of those things that I'm comparing to big budget movies at this point. So when I say that the effects are a little, they're damn good for a television or a streaming service.
Yes.
If this was a $200 to $300 million budget movie, they'd be okay. They're well above your Sci-Fi Channel nonsense. They're really, really good.
Well above the Sharknadoes.
Yeah, the monsters that you've seen in that first episode that you saw. Holy cow, those were oh man, crazy, crazy stuff. So yeah, if you've seen those first 2, the only thing is that I had to talk to our guy behind the camera because he's a big fan. He's read the book and he's watched the shows. Is that after that I felt like that felt like there was closure. Like if that had been a movie, I would have expected maybe a little bit more depth to it. But overall, that would have felt like to me if we'd gone to a movie, that would have been a full movie and would have been pretty good. Instead, it's like, all right, what happens after this? So the very first one is a little bit of a jolt because it's a haunted house ghost story, but then you find out how it ties in. Yeah. And then the fourth one we get back into much more what feels like a direct tie-in. Yeah. And we get going with it. So highly recommend it. Loving that. What are you watching?
I just recently found an old show. It's not old. It ended last year, but it's 5 seasons, hour-long episodes. 20 to 24 episodes a season, so it's like the perfect
what is
time for me. It's called Blind Spot.
Blind Spot. Oh, is that the woman from Thor?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, Lady Sif.
I tried to watch that. I might go back now that it's done. That and Scorpion were 2 that I'd kind of like to watch now that they're finished and see if they were good.
I started it. And then all of a sudden, like before I knew it, I'm into the 2nd season already, and I'm like, oh, I gotta watch more.
Well, that's cool.
It's really picked up. It's been fantastic. You kind of have to hang your brain up because it gets increasingly like I can't believe this is going on, and then this is happening, and then this is happening, and then because it's all like CIA twists and whodunit and all this stuff.
I know at one point, like the whole thing is she comes out of like a bag and she's filled with tattoos. Yep. And at some point, how far have you do you know all about it already?
Yeah.
Are you rewatching it?
No, I haven't finished the series. I'm in the 2nd season right now, but
have more tattoos showed up yet?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like every episode is a tattoo, and it's that tattoo led us to this.
She's got all the tattoos. I'm under the impression at some point, like secret tattoos show up.
Yes,
somehow.
there's like a infrared ink, and then there's like a tattoo that was tattooed, and then it was covered with a black box.
Yes.
But then they had to like do some kind of scanning to get the tattoo underneath it to find out there's this killer living in the backwoods. I didn't know when that
happened. So I'm like, I know at some point it's like, all right, we've done a lot of tattoo stuff. So now we got to get more tattoos.
That's late first season stuff, and then it's fun. It's fun action. Turn your brain off and just let what's happening happen.
It looks like a lot of fun. I look forward to watching that myself. Yeah. I think that's something that could talk me and Chris into watching. I went down the Cobra Kai rabbit hole yesterday.
Oh,
I watched 6 episodes.
I've tried to avoid it because I've heard that's exactly what will happen once I start.
It's weird because there's a lot of humor in it, but it's that sad, pathetic kind of humor. Like, it's weird.
The trailer made me feel sad. Watching it, I was just like, oh no.
From the trailer, my initial thought, I'm like, it's just going to be an outright comedy. It's almost slapstick. And it's not. There's actually quite a bit of drama in it for what it is. Because they're only about 20-some minutes apiece. They're pretty short. Which is nice because you can then just... in an hour, you've watched like 3.
Yeah.
My 6 episodes was 2 hours, so I felt pretty good about that. But yeah, it's interesting because you were seeing both sides. You're seeing a lot of, was it Danny? and a lot of LaRusso, or it's Danny LaRusso and Johnny. You're seeing Johnny and you're seeing Danny, and you're seeing how their lives are split. The first 2 or 3 episodes were flashback heavy, and holy cow, like just straight out of the movies, like just clips of the movie. Stuff long enough that I would expect that I was watching like an old Siskel and Ebert review kind of a thing. There's that much material on the screen. So I'm like, holy cow, they're really, they're going for it. So it's very funny, but there is some drama. There's some sad, pathetic kind of stuff. Yeah, it's got some twists in it.
Yeah.
And yeah, I've enjoyed it so far. And that's been really good. So if you haven't seen it yet, I think everybody has. I finally broke down. You know me, usually if people talk about something so much, I will avoid it.
Oh, yeah.
This one, I'm like,
Boondock Saints.
I'm like, this looks like something I might get a kick out of anyway. And once it showed up on Netflix, I needed to take a little break from Harley Quinn over on HBO Max.
Oh, yeah.
I'm almost done with the second season of that. We've been tearing through that. Very much like the first season more than the second season, but they're still both really, really good. Yeah. Good. All right, so I think the big thing, and unfortunately I didn't read up on the particular information. Talked to Mike Harrison about a couple of minutes about this yesterday. The Academy Awards have decided that there will basically be, and I want to be very careful because again, I haven't read the details. Have you seen this yet?
I saw a quick presser blurb, but I didn't read details.
There is now going to be a diversity clause for the Best Picture nomination.
Yes.
Now, how that's going to work, again, haven't read it. So maybe there's something very laid out and whatnot, but it rubbed me the wrong way. Mike was all for it. And again, without actually reading it, I want to be real careful here. So just from a press release blurb of, I forget exactly what it said, but basically it's what it came across. It sounded like just the Best Picture, diversity has to be met, or you cannot be in this category.
That's what it sounded like to me from the blurb I read. And I know Kirstie Alley went on a Twitter tirade about it.
Not necessarily the best person to call in, but okay.
No, I think she just saw the press blurb that everybody else saw and then was just like, I'm going to yell on Twitter about this. So.
All right. Okay.
I haven't thought of Kirstie Alley in years, so when I saw that, I was like, oh, okay.
Is that her?
Yeah. She was in Star Trek as well.
Yeah, she was a Vulcan for one, and then they replaced her in the next one because I read something, or I saw something on YouTube about it. I think she had
a show in the 90s.
She wanted more money.
Didn't she have a show in the 90s that wasn't Cheers?
It wasn't a designing woman thing, but yes, I think
something like that. Yeah, Ally McBealish type.
Something. Yeah. I think so. Valerie or something. Valerie's Closet.
I don't remember.
I don't remember for sure. But, well, I mean, good luck to her to being relevant again. Again, without reading it, I want to be real careful. But, as I said, it turns me off a little bit. Not that I'm not for diversity, but you're telling probably the most liberal left-wing organization almost on the planet, Hollywood, that they have to be more diverse. Now, they have been shamed publicly at the Oscars several times now for the amount of diversity in some of the pictures.
I was gonna say, I haven't really had a whole lot of opinions about the Academy in a long time.
Me neither.
It used to be like my Super Bowl every year,
really?
And now I'm just like, bah.
I was there for a long time. It's probably been 20 plus years for me since I really cared. But yeah, it's weird because one, it's only Best Picture so far, so everything else you can do whatever you want. It's their now. The other thing though, in their takeaways, it's their football. Like you don't have to bother with them.
Yeah.
And I don't know anymore, even before this, that they're that big a deal. Back in the day, that was huge. It would be second run and a big deal. But now I think it's more of the prestige and in the industry itself. Because the truth is the Avengers doesn't have to win any awards to make over $1 billion. And at this point, I mean, at the end of the day, you can have the little gold naked dude, or you can have $1 billion. Keep your gold naked dude. I'm going to take $1 billion.
Yep.
So, yeah, we'll see. Plus, I feel like the industry is much quicker coming along, and we're seeing great diverse projects right now, like Lovecraft Country.
Oh yeah.
Which I mean, that entire cast is African American and doing a great job. And then you've got, and I always get his name wrong. Is it Peele doing the horror movies?
Oh yeah, Jordan.
Jordan Peele, the Twilight Zone material. We're seeing some great stuff coming along, so we'll see. I'm curious as to how this all shakes out and what goes on. Yeah, I don't know. It feels a little weird to be told, by the way, you have to, this is how it has to happen, or you can't be the best picture. And I'm just like, that seems strange to me. But again, it's their football, play their game, or maybe it's time for something else. We'll see. I'm not sure. So, yeah, there you go. I mean, what happens this year anyway at the Academy? Do they bother having an Academy Awards this year?
I mean, there's been several like student-run projects and other things. Like Hulu's been really good at like bringing up kind of some of that stuff. Like
it's going to be the Netflix Awards this year. It's going to be
yeah.
the Streamies or whatever it's called. Because that's, I mean, Adam Sandler's got a new Halloween movie coming out called Hubie Horror. He's like in the top 10 highest paid actors this year because of his Netflix deals.
Oh yeah, because he's done a million Netflix
He's basically
movies
putting
this
out,
year.
I want to say, 3 movies a year on Netflix right now. I think the last one he did, my wife watched, and I heard it in the background, was a cop murder mystery thing with Jennifer Aniston.
Oh, yep.
Hubie Horror looks to be like a Halloween related project, and of course, and he's got a stable that he brings back with him. We've got Ray Liotta's going to be in this one. He's bringing back in who's
He can get Drew
Kevin.
Barrymore.
Yo,
Like-
she'd be great.
Yeah.
I think she was just on an episode of Hot Wings. I haven't seen Hot Wings in a long time, but have you ever seen Hot Wings? Really?
No.
At First We Feast? So it's this, we gotta talk about that. We only got a couple minutes left. So it's a YouTube thing, and the guy does an interview with celebrities, musicians.
Oh, okay,
and
yeah,
stuff.
I've seen
And eat
that.
Hot
Yeah,
Wings.
and they have to answer questions. Yeah, I've seen a few of
that's
those.
It.
Yeah.
So she just did it. So I have to go
That's
back
funny.
and see who I've missed, because I haven't seen any recently, but I've just figured since
I saw
COVID,
Gordon
we
Ramsay do
should-
one.
Yes.
Talk about like how to make a perfect meal while he's eating
Yeah.
these hot wings.
It's like, All right, everybody. I think that's about our time for the day. Do you anything you want to close out with? I don't want to,
No,
leave it up there for you.
That's
I got nothing.
Be my guest.
I was surprised we got through that as well as it went. So check out the Kokomo Con. It's coming up Saturday, October 17th. And as always, our sponsors are Geek Street, which consists of my store, Comics Cube, the best toy store in the world, Kokomo Toys and Collectibles, right next to American Dream Hi-Fi, Chapter 2 books, and our good friends at Kingdom Cards and Games. Any of these places will happily take your money, and they'll all buy your junk. So, be groovy, everybody.